Hello. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm
Finally,
fantastic.
this collaboration just seems so natural to me. So it was just perfect. So,
Cool. So I won't, I mean, I'll try and make this as quick and painless as possible. Um,
oh,
I've gathered quite a few questions, um,
okay.
and I think that they're kind of a good reflection of the partnership and also getting to know you. I think that that's another thing that people don't have the opportunity to really kind of always get the face-to-face interaction. So I think this is an opportunity for me to kind of help be a little bit of a voice for everyone else. So
Hmm.
so I'm hoping that these will be questions that will relate to everyone, and I think it will be for sure.
And also, no one really knows like what, how, who, what, how, So this
Yeah,
how, who, and what, and all that stuff
yeah,
gonna hopefully answer. So.
exactly. For sure, for sure. I mean, and that's honestly, that's where we're going to start. But before we do that, um, do you want to tell them a little bit about, what your actual title is and what
Oh
your,
yes.
yeah.
I'm a global creative director of Milbon, and I basically help, you know, aesthetic, aesthetically curate the brand into a different, or something that's like I love, and it's a collaboration between both brands. So it's really cool. And we can explain more about that. I don't want to
Yeah, for
answer
sure.
so many things before the other question gets in. And I tend to do that. I'll just roll on to other things. I'm like, oh, wait.
Oh, that's okay. I mean, listen, if we hit something that's already a question, we'll just skip over it or move past it, whatever we need to do. Um, but I kind of want to just take people back to the beginning. How did you actually get started in the industry?
Well, it started. Oh, I like those glasses. It
Thank you.
started. I love this. I love your
They're
energy, by the
they're
way.
from they're from Japan.
Oh, very
Yeah.
cool. Very cool. It started like about 19 years ago because I've been doing hair about 19 years ago. And going on 20. Woo! Um, I would say it definitely started when I went to fashion school because I went to fashion school before this and I did pattern making and study design and stuff like that. And that's why I have such a love and obsession for fashion and clothing and stuff like that. And even the way garments are made. So I graduated and did pattern making. I went to a junior sportwear line and worked there
Mm,
for like a year. And then in the back of my head, I'm like, I always want to do hair. And I love hair because watching a lot of runway shows back in the 90s when I was, back then, and you see like Naomi Campbell,
yes.
Linda Evangelista, and then, Kate Moss, and like all these supermodels, and just like,
Hmm.
they strut down the runway. It's just, I don't know. Of course, I look at the hair and the clothing.
Yeah.
So I remember my parents, were immigrants, and we didn't really have much money. They're like, why don't you learn two career just in case one doesn't
Hmm.
work, the other one will work. And not that fashion didn't work, but I'm just like, I was just so intrigued, and anything that happens in my life, everything just falls into place. So if it's meant to be like hair, it just meant to be. I went to hair school and then I graduated and went to toning guy, and after that I went to like other salons and stuff like that. And it's just like it just easy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I started then, and so now I'm here and I understand, I think, cutting so well because when doing patterns, you cut fabric as well. So
Mm-hmm.
one thing that's very important is that you do um, cut different types of fabric. So to me, different types of fabric just reminds me of different types of hair texture.
Hmm.
So like Asian hair is like denim. Like it seems like
Yeah.
some, because it's lower courses, like it doesn't flow as much, so you have to cut into a little bit more to give it more flowness. And then, fine and blonde hair, straight hair will be like almost like chiffon where it flows really well. I mean, you have to be really careful about cutting too much into it. So
Mm.
to me, that's how my brain works. And then
Yeah.
along with that, like I understand collections really well because we have to conduct collections in fashion school and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
so this is this is perfect for it. So
I love
yeah,
that. I think that makes
I
so
can go
much
on.
sense. Yeah, of course. Hey, listen, we've got an hour. We're good
We
on
got an
time.
hour? Okay.
Cool. I love that because actually, I think that actually makes total sense. Because I never heard much about your history, so I think that that's really cool that you're able to kind of implement those things, and it really does make sense when you do think about the different fabrics and things like that. It does play into our industry so much.
It's the whole look, and it's from head to toe. And a lot of times when a client comes in, I look at how they dress and how they are and what's their
Hmm.
lifestyle is, because I don't want to give them something that they can't do or something that's just too hard for them. So, you gotta like play it really well. So it's like the whole picture is about the whole thing. So every time when we have like red carpet events, we always have to look at the
Hmm.
makeup, hair, and then the whole entire outfit. So,
Yeah, the
it
total
has to
look.
be cohesive. Yep.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. What let me see. What else do we have on our list? Um so what made you decide to partner with Milbon? Because I know that that was a little bit maybe for a lot of people, maybe it was a little bit unexpected. Um so what made you want to kind of bite the bullet and partner with Milbon?
Well, I obviously love the products.
Hmm.
I love the science innovation behind it. I like um, you guys been in business for like, been in the industry for like over 50 years,
Yeah.
which is really, really important. And during the time of transition, my transition, it was just an organic connection with me, especially
Yeah.
with you guys, meeting you guys and then meeting all the other team members. It's just so easy. Like anything that happens in my life, everything was just it lines up. So when things are
Hmm.
lined up like that, it was just meant to be. So, and I love the fact that you guys also, one really important thing is like I love the fact that you guys really support the professional. So that's really key for me, just because
Yeah. Yeah.
having a product line that really understands professional and supports professional and be hand in hand with professional and make products with the professional, not just make products and send it out and tell
Yeah.
us like, oh, this is how it's used, but like make it with us. Really important because we're in the front line of like doing hair and stuff like that. So we need
Yeah.
to, um, you know, bridge that gap, and that gap is so important. So that's really important. So I like that a lot, and especially now you guys give back to the salon, especially when you know that you guys open up the online ordering now, right? Because I know you guys don't
Yeah.
do that. But the
Yeah.
fact that when clients call, you guys give back the commission to the salon that carries Milbon.
Hmm.
So, which is really, really good
Yeah.
because right now salons, really need the help.
Yeah, for
So,
sure. I mean, for those who don't know, because some people may not know, but Milbon, we made a conscious decision to um, fulfill orders for people who need product. And one of the things that we wanted to make sure that we did was that we made sure that the stylist and the salon owners and the distributors are all still receiving their commissions and what they're due if they were selling product. And I think that that's so important. I think that it was a smart decision because, although that's not, where we traditionally would go, it definitely, I think under the circumstances is a good thing. And so we were really excited
yeah,
to be able to do that.
yeah.
We have a question that's coming in actually in the comments, and so I thought I would just ask this before we move on to another topic because this pertains to fashion.
Uh-oh,
But
fashion.
this just says, how do you bring fashion to your work in the salon? Like, how are you incorporating fashion into what you're doing every day behind the chair?
I would say I do watch a lot of fashion stuff, and I go to Paris Fashion Week with my
Hmm. Yeah.
clients and stuff like that. So I'm very aware of what's going on as far as like,
Hmm.
let's say, I don't know, the 70s are coming back. And a lot of the runway stuff like the 70s and the 80s are coming back. So as far as like dealing with the hair and stuff like that, I really maybe if they get the same haircut all the time, I'm like, hey, let's just add a little bit flair of the 70s. Let's give it a little more of like that rock and roll um, late 70s kind of feeling where I was inspired by, the whatever the Louis Vuitton shows that would happen or something like that, whatever it is. Like I bring it back to the salon and be like, this is what I saw in Paris and it was really cool. It doesn't have to be like runway hair or stuff like that, but it can be like an element that you take with you and bring it back to the salon and make it, you know, um, current or
Yeah.
relatable or it makes them excited, clients wise. They're like, oh, on just we just went to Paris Fashion Week, blah blah blah, went to like the New York Fashion Week, it was fun, but at the same time this is what we got out of it, and not we weren't just there just to like hang out and
Right, of course.
I wish hang out and eat baguettes.
That would be amazing.
Oh,
Uh,
yum.
so, just to keep things moving forward, what do you think stylists can look forward to out of the partnership that we have going on with you and Milbon?
Well, I think aesthetically, I think that's one thing that I would love to bring more of like an effortless, you know, lived in kind of feel. It's just very DNA into me,
Mm-hmm.
and progression of that as well. And I think we just did a spring collection that
Mm-hmm.
came out in February, the beginning of February, and it
Yeah,
was about California living, the effortless chicness, a lot of
yeah.
floral, because everything was about spring and stuff like that. And I love that aesthetic because it was an introduction, almost like an introduction of like me coming in, like, you guys are welcoming me into the brand. And
Yeah.
it's about California because that's where I'm from. And the aesthetic of it is very effortless, very, somewhat um, just just chic and just, without putting too much effort into it. I'm gonna say a lot of effortless. I caught myself
Well,
like saying that
it,
5 times already.
it is what you do. So
Yeah,
I think that it
but it
feels
does take a
good
lot. It does have a little effort into the effortless.
for sure,
But
for sure.
so that's my role, and then we're gonna do the fall line. So and I'm not the fall line, the fall collection, and I can't wait because the fall collection is gonna. I don't want to say too much, but it's gonna bring back to what the origin of the brand is. So it's I can't wait. So it's a
I can't
collaboration with
wait.
us and us together. So yeah, and that's what and then along with all that like tutorials and education, you can get into all that stuff, but like that's what you guys can expect from
I love that.
me.
So,
Yeah.
one of the things too that I want to let everyone know, if you haven't seen the collection, please make sure that you've checked out like either On's Instagram or Milbon's Instagram. There is a ton of beautiful imagery that On has created, and he was so gracious enough to be able to create this and share this with us. And there, it's just stunning. There is an effortlessness to it. There is an elegance to it. I think that you will be able to see that there is a different approach to what he's been creating for us. And I think that it does set us apart a little bit. So please feel free to check that out if you haven't.
I want to add something else too. I
For
like the
sure.
fact that it is very commercial, and I love the
Hmm.
fact that it's commercial because
Yes.
honestly, there's nothing wrong with commercialism, but
Mhm.
at the same time, you can put a little edge into it. So it doesn't have to be like, super commercial that's just like very basic, but it has like a sexiness and a little edge and a little like rough stuff. Like I didn't do my
Yeah.
hair, but I kind of did. But I love that play upon like it can be, dressing up and then, being like undone and stuff like that. So it's I liked it. It was fun. And it was really fun creating it. So
Yeah. Yeah, it is beautiful. We do
Thank
have a
you.
question coming in here. So I
Yes.
just want to answer this really quick for someone is asking if we're going to be offering in-salon education for salons for retail for Milbon. We definitely do that. We always are offering education. It's one of the things that we really find is very, very important is education. What I would say is either you want to contact your local distributor or contact Milbon directly, and they can point you in the right direction of getting you the right education. Um,
No
and
Amazon.
no Amazon, there's no education there, and we're not doing that. And that's one of the things that we really strive to make sure is not a thing. You're not going to find it on Amazon. It's really geared for the professional. So if you would like to experience Milbon, you're definitely going to have to visit a salon to get it. Our signature collection is awesome. If you haven't had the opportunity to try, make sure you do that, obviously. But yeah, I just wanted to just clarify that real quick because I was seeing a couple questions coming up too.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a big supporters in Brazil, and I
Hmm.
love Brazil. They
Yes.
always ask, how can they get Melbourne in Brazil?
Okay. So so here's where we start because I do see a ton of people on from Brazil. I
Yeah, a
see
lot
a
of
ton of, oh my,
Brazil.
oh my
They keep
goodness.
on saying,
Okay.
I'm like,
So hi Brazil. So if you guys would like product, you want to contact Milbon directly, and you want to. It's info USA. Um, or yes, infousa at milbon.com is the email that you would want to send your information to, and someone will be in contact with you. And also, Kanako, who's in our in our live, she actually put that email in the comments. So feel free to look in the comments because it's there, and you guys can contact them directly. Cool. All right. Perfect.
oh, wait, I'm going to
Oh,
say, obrigado. Obrigado. That's thank you in
I
Portuguese.
love that.
And bom
Yes.
dia. Bom dia is, I think, good morning. Yeah.
Ah, bon dia.
Bom dia.
Ah, I
It's
love
so
this.
pretty.
Listen,
I love Portuguese.
I love that. So pretty, for sure. Okay, so let's see. So we've got a couple more. Well, maybe there's more than a couple more, but so I'm gonna do this. This is gonna be basically a 2-for-1. But
Oh,
how long have you been using Milbon product, and when were you initially introduced to the product?
I've been, well, ever since we opened up my salon about 9 years ago. So I've been using it since then.
Mhm.
And I was introduced to the products probably about, my math is all weird, probably like 12 years ago. I'm just
Okay.
gonna
Okay. Cool.
forget.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a salon called Gabby Atelier where
Mm.
they do a lot of like Japanese straightening.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I was introduced there, and especially with the treatments and the that they do afterwards, and also the home care line that you guys have after, like when they leave the
Hmm.
salon, is fantastic.
Yeah.
So been probably like, yeah, 12, 15 years of
Okay. Cool.
using the product. So,
Yeah.
and I
And
love
I
the
know that.
fact that, yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay. No. 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 That's okay. Go ahead.
No, I love the fact that you guys only make products for what we need. So, I mean, over the 15, 12 years of time that I've known you guys, I've been using it. The product line is not blown out proportion. Like, it's just like you guys make what we need, and that's it. And I love
Yeah.
that. So it's not overkill
Mhm.
with
So,
products.
for those that don't know, because I know Milbon has kind of gone through a transition in the past few years. We used to be really treatment oriented and Japanese straighten oriented. And obviously, we've always had some stylers and things like that. But a few years ago, we took the opportunity to streamline everything to make sure that you know, it was a little bit more comprehensive and people could read it and all of that stuff, because I know that a part of that, you know, people really love the brand, but it was kind of hard to read and those kinds of things. So we wanted to make sure that it was a little more comprehensive. So we took that opportunity a few years ago, and I think that it's kind of helped, you know, everyone who's using the brand to be able to recognize what the product is.
That
You know, make it a
helps.
little, yeah, for sure. I mean, it definitely was made a big difference. And I think that that is nice, because now I think when people look at it, they actually know what they're looking at. And so I think it's definitely a journey for us, you know. You know, I always say we're the best kept secret, you know.
I agree. I agree. And I love it. I love it.
Okay. Favorite products?
Me?
Yeah, do you have any favorites?
Oh, I have a few.
Okay.
Um, okay, I'm gonna give you a scenario.
Okay. Cool.
So maybe this is a good scenario. If I
It's
was
okay.
stranded on an island or a home,
Yes.
so appropriate. Um, One product that I really love, and I love the fact that it's so versatile. And I do love things that's versatile because you can use it wet and dry, or you can use it in different ways. Um, it's the sea mist, the
Mm,
texturizing sea mist, because
yeah.
you can spray it on and let it go, wash and go, or you
Hmm.
can curl your hair and then you spray it on. It gives you a little more texture. So
Hmm.
I have to say that's probably one of my favorite product,
Oh, cool.
besides the dry texturizing spray, because it just gives
Yes.
that effortless lived-in hair really easily.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I would say the texturizing sea mist is, one of my favorite.
Cool. I love that. I think that's fun. It's like, and it's not one that we talk about that often, but it is one that is super, super special. I mean, even for me, that's actually one of my favorite products too. And I actually use it um, as a non-aerosol setting spray. So it actually works really well.
Oh,
So if
I
you
love
haven't
that.
tried it, yeah, it's really, really cool. I mean, obviously it's wet, so you need to spray it away at a distance. But like if you spray it on and then put your wave pattern in, it's got memory without it feeling crunchy
Sticky.
or hard. Yeah, it's sticky.
Yep.
So I love it for that. So little tidbit, you guys.
So if you need to run out of the house, just take that with you. That's one
Uh-huh,
of the
for sure.
an
So
essential
everybody's saying they love
products.
it. That and
Yay!
dry texture spray. Everybody's yeah. Someone's asking, texture is the new texture is the new black, is what someone said. I love that. Yeah, it's not going
Or
anywhere.
or effortless is the new,
Yeah,
I don't know, new living room look. So
I know, right?
yeah.
I love that. Yeah, everybody's like, this is the best product. Oh,
Oh,
we got
that's a good
another.
question. I love
Yeah,
that
I see
question. I just
another
saw
one.
that.
So, what are An's favorite treatments for natural hair? Do you have any favorites, like back bar professional treatment?
We do. I do. I love, love, love the anti-frizz line.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's a really good one. And we use it a lot when we travel to Miami or Dubai,
Mm.
because the texture is a little more, you know, little
Yes.
more texture. So,
Yes.
so we usually combine that with the smoothing,
Okay.
because the hair really helps to, like, smooth the hair, and it just really keeps that, because there's so much humidity. Oh my
Hmm.
God, Dubai has so much humidity, and also Miami has a lot of humidity. So I like to use that in a combination of both.
One of the things that Milbon does as well, we all know that the way to healthy hair is through a healthy scalp. So
Mm,
keep that in mind. Really take the time to treat your scalp as well. You know, that's another alternative. You want to make sure that your follicle is, you know, is nice and in good shape. So that's another thing to kind of consider throughout your growing process as well. It
very
definitely
true.
does start there. You know, people kind of forget about it. So, as just a
Very
little
true.
side note as well.
Aw.
Okay, so let's see. I think we've got, okay.
I say hi to
Um,
my friend from Poland. Hey, hey,
Hi to friend from
Thomas.
Poland. Wait, hi Thomas, how are you? So yes. Okay, so let's see what else we've got. I'm gonna just zip through these questions here just to see what's here. Um, okay. Um, okay. All right, so we've gotten quite a few questions here. So I'm going to keep us on track. I'm going to do another question from us, and then we'll take another one from our guests that are here. So, what are you doing to keep busy during this time? I know you had talked about it briefly at the beginning, but is there anything specific that you're doing to kind of pass the time while we're in quarantine?
Dollheads. My girlfriends. I have a few. I have so many dollheads. Every time
Yes.
I walk past my office, I'm just like, I have to turn them around because if they're all facing me, I'm walking past by, I'm just like, at night, it just freaks me out. So I'm like, um,
Oh man.
I keep busy with dollheads and playing with
Mhm.
dollheads, you know, keep my hands, um, active. And I think that's one thing that's really important, like that you just have to keep it active. And you don't keep it
Yeah.
active, you know, it's just like anything. It's like I feel like we all have to put in our hours of like, you know, what is that one book, 10,000 hours or whatever? I
Mhm.
forgot the name of it. But like, you know, you do. And I still do I still put in my hours because I really love it. Like that's
Yeah.
how it is. Like either when do things for passion, because when you do things for passion, you really want to make it better. You're not just like, I want to
Mhm.
find better ways to make money. I want to, you know, it's not like money is not the first thing. Well, it is important right now, but like at the same
Right.
time, it's like you got to do it for passion. And when you have that passion within you, you find ways to make money. So
Mhm.
that's that it comes along with it. And then it's not just only towards money, because there will never be enough money. You kidding me? If I
Mhm.
want to make a certain amount of money, I really want to make that much, and next year I want to make that much. And you know,
Yeah.
just do it for the
Yeah.
passion, and you'll find a way to go about that. So I've been playing around with doll heads, finding new ways to like curl the hair, do things, braiding and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
I saw your tutorial on braiding. I really love that, and
Oh.
actually made me want to start braiding.
Oh.
Um, but not when I cut my nails off. I have to have a little bit of a nail. If I
I
don't, I'm just like, "Bleh," you know.
This is all
So.
rough. I'm like, we're all going through something. I'm like, ugh. It was funny. I said, I don't want to be seen on camera with half stuff still left, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. And also hobbies. So any kind of
Hmm.
hobbies that you really want to do all these years, do it. Like for me, learning Japanese, and then, you know, eventually I want to learn other languages once I get better at certain things. I don't want to be full on conversational, but I don't think I could be because I feel like in order to be full on conversation, you have to somewhat live there. So
Yeah.
if I can speak
Yeah.
like, hey, how are you? How's it going? Are you well? Blah, blah, and then goodbye. Thank you for having all that stuff in all languages. It would be amazing. And I love languages. Like I sometimes watch some random TV shows
Yeah.
that is like in Turkey. And I'm like, oh, I love that. Like it just to me, it just really makes me feel like I'm connecting with all these different cultures. And that's one of the reasons why I do like to travel, because I really want to see all different types of people, like their food and how they live, because it's such a small world and we can all learn from each other in that sense. So it's just, you know, that's
Yeah.
why language is just so important to me. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's great. I mean, even one of the things that I'll do is I'll try and watch like foreign films and stuff to just so I can, see things and hear different things because you
Yeah.
never know where you might run into someone or hear something that sounds familiar or something like
Yeah.
that. So I actually do like that a lot, actually, for sure.
And if I do get bored, completely bored,
Hmm. Yeah.
I just bought a Nintendo Switch.
Good choice. Good choice.
Childhood game Zelda. So I'm
Oh
like,
man, so
the
good.
other night I
So
stayed up to
good.
2 a.m. I'm like, why am I doing this? Like,
That's so funny. I just said that I want to buy a Nintendo Switch so I can play Animal Crossing. So
yes,
that's
it's
on
such a
my
good
list.
game.
Okay. What would you say? Um, what can salon owners and stylists do to support their clients while they're at home at this time? Is there anything that you would suggest for them?
I think keeping the communication open with your clients, like, if they ever need anything, check in with them. I think and as far as like stylists go, I think that's really important as well.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, and then keep building the community. So if you're a salon owner, maybe like do like remedies of like how to maintain your hair, or like how to condition your hair in this time. I think that's a lot of
Yeah.
things like that's all we can do, as far as like client goes and stuff like that. Help them, maybe show them how to style the hair differently. So at least you build that communication with them and that connection with them. And that's what I'm trying to do on my channel, because I can't really, put pictures of me cutting, clients hair and stuff like that. So me,
Right.
like at least building a communication and a connection with like my audience with doll heads
Yeah.
and stuff like that. At least it's something that they can get out of it during this time. So I think that's really important, just building a community.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I think it's what we need. I mean, I honestly, that's why we've been doing this every Friday, every Wednesday, because we want to keep the communication, and we want to make sure that we're doing all we can on our end as well to make sure that people feel that there's some support, and that let people know we're still around. We're just waiting to get back in it, just like everybody else. So, we want to make sure that we do that. And I think that that's a great thing that you're doing as well. One of the questions here, someone was asking about uh, processing times and how long it takes to do a treatment. Just so you guys know, all of our professional treatments take 10 to 15 minutes at the back bar. If you
Mm.
were wondering, um, and let's see, what else do we have here for questions? Anything else that we've got good? Okay.
A lot
Um,
of Brazilians. I keep on seeing Brazil.
yes,
I'm like,
yes, and there is heat protection in
hola,
our
hola.
products. Okay, so right now with everything going on, how often are you looking at the news?
Oh, the news.
Are you even looking at it?
I do, I do, I do. I
Okay,
think it's very important to look at news so you know what's going on, and
yeah, for
also
sure.
look at different types of sources of news
Mm-hmm.
to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Um, and you never want to be like turn off, like you don't want to hear it, like you do want to hear it. And I put a certain amount of time, like either in the morning or in the afternoon. I listen to it, and in the evening, so maybe
Yeah.
twice a day, and just like, and that's it. And then sometimes I don't really watch it all the day because it's just like repeating the same thing and over. And sometimes things get repeated over and over and over. It's like a mental trick to your mind that it's just
Mm-hmm.
like, this is really happening. This is really happening. It makes you spin out. So
Right.
just get the facts and then, go on with your day and then check in, and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So that's just, to me, that's most healthy for me. Or else I get into the whole of like, oh my
Yes.
God, I can't touch anything. Like, touch something, wash your hands, just, stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
Just like be
Yeah.
really logical about it. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I agree 100%. I think sometimes too, I think we get caught up and we overthink it. I think that right now that's literally the only thing we can do. Wash our hands, don't touch your face. If you're going somewhere, wear a mask, and try and stay in the house if you can. That's it.
Yes, that's
You
that's
know?
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
sure, for sure. Okay, so this is our last like serious question.
Oh.
Um, and then we'll do some more fun. But
Okay.
what have you learned about Milbon that you want people to know?
Well, they were known, well, they start known for their straightening, the perm solution.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that that's really, really cool facts that I didn't know back in. I mean, I knew about it, but I really didn't know
Yeah.
the actual fact about it. Um, and what else is there? I wrote down a list, and I'm just like, okay,
Oh yeah,
I
you can pull from
remember.
your for sure.
Well, and then I think that's another thing is like, I think I already said this. Like,
Mhm.
really, I like the connection that you guys have with the professionals. So I think that's really, really, really cool that I didn't know that when I got into this position of being a global creator. director. And I love the fact that it's just a lot more intense with it. And, you know, I think that's one of, maybe you can tell me some.
I mean, look, I don't know if there's anything that you don't know, but one of the other things too, I always like to tell people, if you don't know, I've had the opportunity to visit Japan a couple times and see facilities that Milbon has, and one of the things that I think for me was an eye opener when I came to work for the company was that, obviously there's so much close attention to detail. And I think that that's amazing. And what I mean by that is, they have their own factory. They create everything within the factory, and they have R&D team that's there. They're all meticulously working to produce great product. And sometimes, which I think is really interesting, is, they may be working on something, that's like 10 years down the line, but, they're really trying to perfect it and make sure that it's amazing. And I don't think a lot of people realize that it's happening internally. It's not, we're not giving it to another factory and they're doing it and they're creating it and formulating it and doing all that stuff. It's really happening right at home, in our own factories, with our own research and development team. And I think that speaks a lot to what we do.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Wait,
For
you guys
sure.
have products in Germany, right? Yes, right? This one.
Yes. 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 If you're there, we do. We have products in Germany. You can get them. Hi, Milbon, Germany. Yes, for sure. So you definitely are able to get products there, and I believe hopefully more down the road too, because I think that they're continuing to grow there. So I think that that's one of the fun ones too, for sure.
I want to go. I want to go to Germany.
Me too. So if you get to go,
Ah,
so if it happens,
I want to
keep
go to
me in
Berlin.
mind. Keep me in mind.
Actually, I do want to learn German.
Mm.
I took German 2 years in high school, and
Oh, cool.
it's hard, but it's
Yes.
very
Yeah.
similar. Yeah.
Yeah. I have a good friend of mine who lives in Germany, and I would totally love that. That would be awesome. Yeah. But she lucks out. She speaks about four different languages, so she's
Ah,
she's well off for
man, it's
sure.
so cool when you know a lot of languages. It's so cool.
Yeah, for sure. We're getting hellos from New York. Um, someone also said too about the news. They try to check only once a day, otherwise it gets a little depressing,
Hmm.
which we totally agree with. It can be overwhelming for sure. Someone else also asked when Milbon will come to Brazil. Um, TBD.
To be
uh,
determined. To soon,
yes,
soon.
but yes, for sure.
The past from the 90s, the um, my happiness, and I know that's very vague, but
But
what makes me happy is being able to do what I want, travel to places that I want to do, and having that freedom to go anywhere I want to go. And then one last thing is um, having good support, friends,
yeah,
family, people that love you around you. It's really, really important. So,
sure.
yeah,
I love that.
nothing material.
Yeah,
You can buy that stuff. You can buy it,
I
and then
agree
you get over it.
100%.
Like I love
Yeah.
my iPhone, but I'm like I can't wait for the new 12. I'm like, when is it coming out? But that
For
doesn't make me
sure.
happy. No.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Money doesn't buy happiness, and physical things don't buy happiness. I always said that. My mom always said, when everything else is gone and you may not have anything else, what is your true happiness? And you need to know what that is. And I always live by that. I think that's so important. Um, but I do want to thank you for sharing your time. We're coming up on our hour, so I don't want
That was
Instagram to
fast.
kick us off. But I have appreciated you taking the time to do this because I know that you could be doing many other things, and we're so appreciative.
I have
This has
nothing
been
else to do.
something.
This is
Oh
the
my
only
God,
thing.
this has been something on my bucket list. Um, yeah, we're just appreciative, and we're so glad to have you a part of the Milbon family. And I couldn't think of a better way to be spending my Friday. I'm so stoked about this. Um, Once again, to everyone who's watching, thank you so much. For those of you who have questions, want to know any more information, please feel free to message us. We want to be able to share as much as we can. If there's anything that you guys would like to see specifically, even if it's something more with On, we want to make sure that maybe we can accommodate that too. But once again, this has been fabulous. I am so excited
Oh,
that we got to do this. It's really just been truly amazing. And I'm sad that it's over.
I know. That hour went by really quick.
I
And
know. I
I
know.
I want to
Yeah.
say I'm so ecstatic to be uh, in collaboration with you guys. Just like I just love the product so much, and I love the culture, and it just as anything that happens in my life, it's just everything just roll into a place. And
Yeah.
with this, it was just so easy that it was just like, okay, here we are. And I just love it, and I'm so appreciative about the support that you guys give me and my team. And my team loves the fact that you guys are so supportive, and I love that, that you guys are so willing to give a lot of things, and I love, 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 love. But yeah, I can say more, but I don't.
Oh my
But
gosh. Well, we love you. Till next time, you guys. Thank you so much. Please visit us on Wednesdays and Fridays.